Okay, it's time to have a look at some strobants today, a little bit of an update on them, show you a bit more about strobants, what they're like. Interesting video, so let's get into it. This video is sponsored by Ant Keeping Depot. Click on the link in the description to check out their website. Now, my last video on my strobants was about tiger lily and her colony, and they have not been going well. In fact, really bad news with them. The workers all died off, and then I separated the queen to try and get her working again, but unfortunately she has died. Now, this colony that you're seeing now is actually another colony that I had that I was growing, and it's doing really well, and that's the one I want to share you today. Now, with strobants, this is something I want to show you. This is just another colony out in the wild that I filmed, and I just wanted to show you why they get their name strobants. It's actually the way that they walk around, and I'll show you a little bit more in the colony, but this is just what they're like on the outside, and you can see their movements are not smooth like other ants. They're very jittery or strobing sort of as they walk, and that is really to distract predators from eating them. Makes it really hard for them to do that. So very interesting species indeed. Now, I've got the little outworld here where they're residing, and I've got a test tube attached with the colony, and they're a beautiful colour, these strobants. So the black and the orange colours, and they have really large eyes. Now, we'll get into that a little bit later on when we have a closer look inside of the test tube at the colony, and you'll be able to see some of that macro footage. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's really interesting to see. So a basic little outworld for them, that's all they need at the moment. But you can see their movements as they go around. Now, they're just drinking some of the water here that I've given them, which is pretty cool. Very thirsty little colony. So you can see here, see a little bit their eyes there, the large eyes on the top sides of their head. Very good eyesight, and probably helps them do their strobing a little bit better as well. Very interesting species, and really nice species to keep. Now, apparently they don't get to huge, massive colonies, maybe 500 or so workers, not up into the thousands like you do with some of the others. So that'll be good to see. So again, I've just given them that sugar water, some protein, a mealworm there cut up, and you can see a little bit of the strobe action there. Now, they don't do the strobing inside their nest at all. It's only when they're outside foraging. So very interesting indeed. Now, this colony is expanded quite well. I've kept them in the one test tube just to develop the colony in there, keep them nice and small and enclosed, which was a mistake that I made with the other first colony with tiger lily. The nest I gave her was just too big, stressed the colony out, I feel, and it didn't end up going well. But this colony is doing really well. So here we go. You can just see the little walking is a little bit different to usual that you might see in other species of ants. See, they sort of make like little jumps. It's almost like they're jumping around. And here they are. I've just given them some fresh water, so they're really enjoying that. Let me know if you keep strobants. I'd be interested to know how you go with them as well. So let me know in the comments below. Please hit that like button too. I'd really appreciate that. So here we go. We can see their abdomens there just swelling up as they drink that water into their social stomach, so they can take that back to the queen and the other workers as well. And here we can see inside the nest. So let's have a close look. Look at how beautiful they are. That colouring is really nice. And you can see there trophallaxis happening. One of the workers has brought back some water and is feeding another one of the workers, which is great. So they're doing really well, this colony. We're probably up to about 13 or 14 workers now. And the brood, nice healthy pile of brood. And we've just got them in this little test tube attached to this little outworld, which is an outworld by Ant Shack. So tiny little outworld, sort of a founding outworld, which I find really helpful in these initial spaces, initial stages of a colony when it's only just starting out. You don't want to overwhelm them with a huge outworld. So this is really good. They can easily find what they need. In this case, which is a nice fresh piece of mealworm and some water. Okay, well, we're going to have a closer look back at the nest again and some of the brood and get some close-up pictures. But I just wanted to make sure that you got to see this sort of action as they forage, the strobing sort of action that they're known to. Now, that one there just sort of walking normally, but when they are startled, they definitely start that strobing action when foraging. So the queen is not an overly large queen at all. You're probably only looking at sort of that 8 to 10 millimeters in length. The little workers, obviously these ones are the ninics, so they're slightly small to begin with. Here we can see the queen. See that it's using its antenna there just to stroke the other ant's head and that worker, and just to make it give up some of its water that it may have in its social stomach. So the queen's obviously thirsty. So it's good to see that they're collecting that water, bringing it back and feeding this colony. Now this test tube needs a change out. It's actually run out of water, and that's probably why they were so desperate to get some water. So I'll change them over into a nice new test tube full of water, and they'll be great. So under this macro here, you can see nice pile of brood in the middle there, and you can see on their heads there those large eyes that they have. Great vision, very good vision. So nice little colony, little staged colony, and I'm really happy with how it's developing. So I'll definitely do some updates on this, and we'll eventually upgrade them to a proper nest, which they'll enjoy, and an acrylic nest will probably be the way I go with this colony. So I hope you've enjoyed this update on the strobe ants. I haven't done one for quite some time, and that's because it wasn't going down too well. So it's nice that I've been able to show you the colony, a bit more of a mature colony, and how they are going. So we're going to have to get a name for the queen and the colony, so I might check in with my Patreons. But thanks for watching. Now, Patreons, I'd like a huge thank you to Medical Carcass 9, John Redwood, Kay Single, and Gordon C. Thank you so much for your patronage. It helps out hugely. And also, if you'd like, down in the description is our Discord server where you can chat to many other ant keepers as well. So please click on that link and join our Discord server. It'd be great to have a chat with you there and talk all things ants. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel, and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Well, if you've got this far and you haven't subscribed, please hit that button. Plenty more great content to come. There's a video recommended for you by YouTube, and one that I've picked that you might enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, happy ant keeping.